Okay, I've been wanting to do this video for a while now. A few days ago, it was National Cancer Survivors Day, and even though technically I'm still in remission, close enough. For those of you who don't know, about 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I never really talked about it. I never really shared what I went through. I didn't even bring it up until I needed to find a potential match for a stem cell donation. And I kept everything pretty private even after I announced that I was looking for a match. I really didn't feel the need to share my experiences up until recently. About a year ago, I tried writing a blog to share what happened, and it didn't really sit well with me. I didn't really like the way it was going, so that's what this is. And the reason why I finally decided to come out with my experiences was I went through a lot, and I got a lot of help from a lot of different people. And had it not been for the help of complete strangers and the selflessness of complete strangers, I probably wouldn't be here today. So my hope with this video or with my experiences is to help anybody going through something similar, or who's gone through something similar. And if I can help even one person, then it's worth it to me. Some of the things that I'm gonna share are gonna be pretty graphic and very detailed. Some of it, at least with my twisted sense of humor, is gonna be funny. A lot of it is going to be kind of down and depressing, but all of it is true. With that being said, this whole thing started right around middle to the end of May of 2015. And even though I've always been the handsome specimen you see in front of you, there was a lot more of me back then. And during that time, I weighed the most I'd weighed in my entire life at 308 pounds. Started off like any other Friday, Saturday night. After spending some time with my friends, we went to a local taco shack, and I got my usual order of 5 cheese tacos, a torta, and a side of nachos with a cup of water, because I gotta keep an eye on my figure. And what goes up must come down, what goes in must come out. And a few days, like a day or two later, nature called, and as I went down to do my business, I had the most painful shit I had ever taken in my life up to that point. It was one of those that I knew I had done something the second it happened. As I went to wipe, I looked at the toilet paper, it was soaked in blood. Looked in the bowl, there was more blood there. And that didn't really freak me out at that point. I just looked online and looked at my symptoms and saw that it was actually pretty common what had happened. And it's more common in people who tend to be overweight with poor diets. So it said it wasn't a big deal. It'll heal on its own in like 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks, something like that. So, I said, okay. It hurt for a few days and then the pain went away. About a week or two went by, and the pain came back. And right around the same time, I also noticed some weird thing growing out of my stomach near my belly button. And my first thought was, shit, it's probably cancer, because what else decides to randomly grow out of your body that's not supposed to be there? I was like, okay, you know what? I've got something growing out of my stomach. I've got a pain in my ass. I should probably go get this checked out. So I made an appointment with the doctor. Went to the doctor's office. Nurse checked me in, put me inside of the exam room. A few minutes later, in walks in my very pregnant and very beautiful doctor. And the only thing running through my mind is there's no way in hell I'm showing this woman my ass. Not gonna happen. She's pregnant enough as it is. She's probably dealing with enough nausea. I don't want to make her throw up. So I didn't. I just showed her the thing on my stomach. She looked at it, and she told me what it was. I can't remember the name of what it was off the top of my head, but she said it's nothing serious, nothing to worry about. But I was going to need surgery to get it removed. So she referred me over to to a general surgeon to have it go looked at. So I left her office feeling pretty relieved actually that it wasn't cancer, but then I started thinking, I'm like, okay, now I need surgery. What the hell am I going to tell my parents? You know, it's going to be another case of asdagan norenich kakkerav. And yeah, another week went by. I went over to the other doctor, and I lift up my shirt to show him the growth, and the damn thing was gone. I don't know what happened, but it disappeared. All that was left was like a little bit of residual fluid or just liquid from wherever the thing was. And he was looking at me like, you know, why are you wasting my time? Why are you here? I'm like, hey, the other doctor saw it. She wouldn't have referred me to you if it wasn't there. So clearly it just disappeared on its own. He looked at it and he's like, okay, you know what? There's nothing to operate on, so you don't need surgery here and everything's fine. And then he gave me the usual lecture of, you know, the dangers of my weight and all these, all the risks, you know, high blood pressure, increased chance of death, stroke, heart attack, diabetes, all these wonderful things. And he referred me to take some like class on like healthy weight and how to lose weight. I was like, okay, dude, you know, hurry up, wrap this up. Yalla, I want to go home. I've heard this all before. Just let me go on my way. I left his office feeling pretty like in pretty good mood actually, because I was like, hey, you know what? I don't need surgery and I don't have cancer, you know? At least for another week anyway.